Hello everyone, this is Own Wall Street with the TradersPerspective.com. Taking a look at natural gas, starting off the analysis on the weekly time frame just to get an idea of the bigger picture and where the overall direction seems to be heading. So this past week, was a kind of do or die week for natural gas, and you could see that after a bounce off this Fibonacci level here, which is the 50% level, as you can see here, we bounced up. We were rejected by this trend line, which was serving as our uptrend line. I've been mentioning this trend line and the importance of this break and retest, and again, not a good sign for those of you that are bullish. The only thing that's good here, essentially, is that we are near the 50% and held this 50% of this previous week's candle. So although the pattern itself looks to be pushing further down, there are still some things to watch out for before we can go ahead and say, natural gas is going to break below this 2.76 level, I believe was the old, the low here. So after we break below here, then it's going to be a nice quick shot to 2.653, and then further down, probably see a bounce from 2.63 up to 2.76, and then reverse back down to this level here. Just trying to gauge, how the price action might flow. But from what we can see here, looking back in time, that once we do have a break, there is some support here, the 50% way between these two Fibonacci levels. So, that I call it the mid-channel bounce. It does happen quite frequently. You can see all the wicks here, so that's another thing to watch out for. So even if we do get a nice push down here and then break below, then we'll probably be looking at a 2.653 as the next rest stop before we head back up to challenge the broken Fibonacci level, and then proceed heading lower to the 61.8 level. And if that level should hold, obviously that's we're looking a few weeks out in time. If this level should hold, then we'd be looking at a nice bounce back up and probably going to challenge this this trend line here. So again, we are looking further out in time. However, this is another trend line that we do have to be mindful of here. I'll drop down to the lower time frame so you can see the relevancy and importance of that. So in essence, if we do hold this level, then that'll be our next battle. Or if we break that, then basically we'll come to this point here where essentially it'll be a do or die for natural gas once again. So if that happens to fail, then we'll be looking at a pretty aggressive breakdown in price, in my opinion. But we'll have to take it 1 week at a time. But for right now, still bearish. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame here for you to kind of show you what's been happening. So again, I stressed the failure here that we'd have that gap up last week and then that we would trend lower. We did in fact try to build some kind of support along a trend line here, but you could see that it failed to hold. More importantly, we rejected holding this 50 period simple moving average and also this 200. So although they were coming close, looking like a potential golden cross occurring on this 4-hour time frame, it did not materialize, and as such we are now heading lower once again. So I mentioned the 50% of this candle. Imagine this is one weekly candlestick here. So, we basically are at that 50% level now. So if natural gas holds this area here, which, was the resistance here, and then it was the source of the breakout. So if we hold this area here and then bounce from here, I would not be too surprised. But at the same time, we are at like a make or break point for natural gas once again. So we'll have to see what happens as far as all that's concerned. Switching back to the daily time frame, you can see here this is the trend line that I was referring to, and looking at things here, you can really see that we are kind of in a choppy situation. We are dealing with the 50 on the daily, which is serving as our resistance here, and we are trying to kind of stabilize along this level here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if we can get a pop up and then challenge this area once again. I would expect that would probably happen, but then maybe we would either one of two things could happen. We get above this trend line and then push up and then fail this uptrend line once again, or B, we fail to break here and then drift lower to this 2.7876 area here. So that's the area that it could happen. So that's what I'll be looking for. Honestly, it's just a matter of can we get above this right here, and then this is basically the new major source of resistance, which is that broken uptrend line. So as you know, when major uptrend lines are broken, the prices break down further. So once again, I'm still staying on the sidelines here. Tried to get into a short this week, and the stop was hit, and if it wasn't for that stop, we still would have been in the position and been in realizing some profit towards the end of close on Friday. So it happens. It's fine. That's why we have them, just in case. But for right now, I'm just waiting to see what happens here. I didn't expect such a strong move off this trend line here. Once it was broken, I thought it was pretty much a done deal. But again, stop loss came in handy. And again, I'll repeat myself to all of you. Make sure you use your stop losses out there, because even though you may have a trade figured out, I mean, especially with natural gas or any of the other volatile pairs that are out there, if they, happen to prove you wrong for some unknown reason, just price does what it does. Natural gas is very well known for that. It can really whip you out of some money really quick. So be careful. Manage your trade sizes, manage your risk. Get into good setups. Right now, I'm not really liking, the way it's kind of trying to stabilize here. So I'm going to be staying out of this, just kind of watching. But for right now, the scenarios that you'll be looking for is this trend line, this uptrend line that was broken, and also these lows here at around 2.88 or so. This wick is obviously very important, so 2.86, if that breaks, you'll be going down quickly to the 2.799 and potentially even further down to these lows at around 2.766. So I'm going to say that my long-term approach to natural gas here is going to be bearish still until this trend line gets reclaimed by the bulls. Until then, I'm going to stay bearish, but right now I am just going to sit on the sidelines because I don't like the setup here and the positioning of the price action. I'm on Wall Street. This has been a presentation of thetradersperspective.com. If you have any questions, feel welcome to email me at thetradersperspective@gmail.com. Membership information is available on the website. I do appreciate you all watching and subscribing to my videos. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and have a very green first half of the week. I'll see you all Wednesday evening.